name is Frank, and this is Healing Without Labels. This is a space where we talk honestly about healing, behavior, and growth without reducing people to diagnoses or labels. And today, I want to talk about something that sounds caring on the surface, but often causes a lot of quiet damage. Compassion without boundaries. Because while compassion is essential for healing, when it exists without limits, clarity, or responsibility, it doesn't heal. It enables, it exhausts, and sometimes it allows harm to continue. We learn to give people the benefit of the doubt, make excuses for their behavior, stay quiet to keep the peace, and often compassion is rooted in empathy. We see someone's pain, we understand their history, we recognize their struggles, so we tell ourselves they didn't mean it. They are trying their best. They've been through a lot. And sometimes that's true, but compassion alone doesn't tell us what is acceptable. Here is where things quietly shift. Compassion becomes a reason to tolerate disrespect, ignore repeated patterns, delay difficult conversations, and slowly we stop asking, what does this cost me? In relationships, families, workplaces, and even helping professions, compassion without boundaries often leads to self-abandonment. You become understanding at your own expense. You become patient while resentment builds. You become supportive while your needs disappear. That's not healing. That is erosion. One reason people resist boundaries is because boundaries feel harsh, and rightfully so. They feel like rejection, they feel like conflict, they feel like you're being difficult or cold, especially for people who learned early on that love meant staying quiet or accommodating. But boundaries are not punishments. Boundaries are information. They communicate, this is where I end. This is what I can, and this is what I cannot accept. This is how I stay safe. Without boundaries, compassion has no shape. A common confusion is thinking that compassion means fixing, saving, or carrying others. But rescue is not connection, and overfunctioning is not care. When you constantly protect someone from consequences, they don't grow, they don't take responsibility, they don't change. Real compassion respects another person's capacity, even when it's uncomfortable to step back. Boundaries allow people to meet themselves. Let's make this practical. In relationships, compassion without boundaries looks like staying after trust is repeatedly broken without repair. In families, it looks like excusing harmful behavior because that is just how they are. In workplaces, it shows up as tolerating poor conduct in the name of empathy while morale declines. In caregiving and helping roles, it looks like burnout disguised as kindness. In every case, the absence of boundaries doesn't create safety, it creates confusion. Healing without labels does not mean endless tolerance. It means addressing behavior without defining identity. You can say, I care about you, and this behavior is not okay. You can understand someone's pain and still protect yourself from its impact. Boundaries don't erase compassion, they anchor it. Healthy compassion includes limits, it names patterns, it allows discomfort, supports responsibility. It says, I see you, and I also see what needs to change. Healing doesn't happen when everything is accepted. It happens when clarity meets care. Compassion without boundaries feels kind in the moment, but it often creates long-term harm. Boundaries without compassion feels cold. but they don't last. Healing lives in the balance. Furaha Wellness, we believe you can be caring and clear. You can be empathetic and firm, supportive and self-respecting. That's healing without labels. If this conversation resonates with you, follow Healing Without Labels for grounded discussion on growth, boundaries, and emotional well-being. You don't need to harden your heart to heal. You just need clarity. Until the next one, goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel for more insights.